I want to talk to you about responsive, and the question is this tool worth it or not? And by the way, responsive used to be called RFP.io, so they have recently rebranded, so now they're called responsive. And so today I want to into this conversation, I want to do an in-depth review of the tool. Okay, so here's a product overview here. When you think about responsive, I want you to think about proposal collaboration software that enables large teams of sales reps to efficiently create proposals and other sales document. So this here is a tool that's great for project managers and also sales reps. In terms of pricing, I mean, and I'll speak about pricing later on, but you have to actually contact Responsive for more information. But what we love about the Responsive here is that here is a tool that's very, very scalable. Here's a tool that's very adaptable. As a matter of fact, it's really technologically advanced in the sense that it uses AI and machine learning to help craft proposals in record time. You'll be able to create multiple template versions, then catalog and share them in a library. So from an optimization standpoint, you're well covered. And Responsive helps your team, helps your sales rep be more agile in terms of proposal management. Also, Responsive integrates with several collaboration tools like Slack. You have Microsoft Teams, and you also have Google Hangouts. And managers can also gain visibility into team members' workloads in order to reassign or even assign tasks related to proposal creations and provide feedback. So that level of the feedback loop is kind of cool. We love that aspect of things in terms of optimizing the whole work streams. And when you think about responsive, think about features as simple as template version, recommendations, and content library. You have unlimited onboarding. You also have the onboarding happens inside and outside your organization. You have integrations with CRM and other popular software, so CRM, client relationship management. And you also have here another thing I want to mention. You have e-signature, the e-signature tool. So the e-signature tool is pretty relevant within responsive. So overall, when you think about responsive, think about a leader in response management software, thanks to an AI-powered process that aims to automate your proposals. And the same software creates not just RFPs, but also RFI responses, security questionnaires, and other documents to help your business development over time. So that's really fantastic. Let's talk about the pros and cons here. When you think about responsive, what kind of best features can you expect? Well, you do have an intuitive and automated lookup feature that helps you find previous content and turn your proposal software into a comprehensive content database. That way, you know exactly what worked in the past, what's working now, so you can really you can really modify your current content. So that's really good from a scalability point of view. Responsive does a great job here. You also have AI-powered recommendation engine that allows you to actually get things clearly done from the get-go, because it can suggest content from your database that best fits the RFP you are looking to submit. It does the same to the RFI, to the DDQ, to the SOW that you are looking to submit. You also have advanced user permissions to ensure your teams have the right access to the right projects and content without potential security or privacy concerns. And if you are working in an industry that's heavily regulated, having this ability to look at things from a compliance point of view, that's kind of cool. You also have the ability to import and export to move your proposals to and from your CRM system, Microsoft Word, and other tools you are already using. So we are speaking here about what? We are speaking about adaptability, but most importantly, we are speaking about synchronization between your current tech stack and responsive. So that's really good. Now, and everything I'm telling you here, and this was a non-exhaustive list of the pros that you have within responsive. But one thing I want to say here is that responsive actually is great in the sense that the solutions it brings to the market are not limited to a certain geography. So you, regardless of your geography, you will find responsive's features really, adaptable to your business. You just need to make sure that you have the right features. So what about the limitations, the cons? Well, the navigation between projects is not always intuitive, especially when also accessing the central library for frequently used content. So this could be a little problematic. And also, you have limitations to the number of active projects. So this can be difficult in our view, especially if you are thinking about a larger or multi-subsidiary organization. So when we talk about responsive, what is the value added here? In other words, what kind of functionalities can you actually derive? Can you derive from this tool and actually boost your bottom line? What kind of value can this tool add? What kind of value can it add to your operations in terms of optimization, in terms of revenue, in terms of profit, in terms of liquidity management, in terms of customer loyalty, in terms of lead management? So responsive actually adds value because it remains a robust sales acceleration and document management software that empowers organizations to effectively handle various information requests, okay, RFPs, RFIs, DDQs, security questionnaires, and more. So you have a large array of tools and capabilities there to kind of help you know exactly what you have to work on and what you shouldn't be working on in the first place. And the cool thing is that the platform actually adds value in the sense that it enables a better collaboration and automation, resulting in increased revenue generation and reduced risk. So we love that a lot. And when we think about the responsive, we love the fact that here is a tool that in real time addresses critical response challenges faced by all kinds of organizations, small businesses, medium-sized enterprises, and even large organizations. And this tool offers a comprehensive RFX, so request for X platform, centralizing mission-critical content and documents. This enables efficient response project creation, collaboration, and communication. And Responsives has an automation and AI-driven feature set that accelerates, really, when you think about it, the response process. I mean, accelerating the response process is kind of critical, especially if you are in a very competitive sort of sector. And responsive goes beyond traditional RFP software, providing a powerful RFX platform that offers capability, flexibility, and scalability. And it really integrates seamlessly with various applications. This is one area where it really adds value. It helps you, it also adds value by streamlining sales, by streamlining how you build proposals, and also streamlining other types of business processes. And the software emphasizes user experience. So UX is pretty high, and it has a purposeful design. It has intuitive workspaces and also practical automation that enhance response teams' efficiency. So that's really fantastic. So what about the pricing here? So when we think about responsive, what kind of pricing can you have? Well, you can see on the screen here that responsive doesn't actually publish its pricing. So you're gonna have to contact sales to have to give your information, and then they will actually will quote you based on your needs. And one thing for sure, when you contact them, make sure that you input your work email, because they're not going to accept any regular email like Gmail or Hotmail or have you know. They want you to have your work email, and then you have to put the regular information: your first name, last name, company name, your phone number, but also your role within the company. And also, one thing you want to do is, if you're interested in testing out responsive, you want to request a demo, because they don't have a responsive doesn't have a free trial, so they don't have a free version also. So once you go through the demo, if you like what you see, if you like the functionalities, if you like the capabilities, if you like the pros, if you like the modules that you see within responsive, then you have to pay for stuff right away. So after the demo, you start paying for stuff right away, okay? And so what we love here is that basically, in terms of pricing model, you have a monthly subscription model, okay? And it's one of those things where you have to see, and also they will charge you based on the number of users that you have, okay? So be aware of that. So your total price will depend on three things: the number of users you have, the number of features you want, and also the API slash integration that you want to have. So also, if you want to have some add-ons, so that will also impact the final price that you pay every single month to responsive. So for instance, if you want to have an API application programming interface, what happens here is that responsive will actually set you up. They will set your development team up with an API, but the API is costly because they will be charging you every single month. So that's really important to really think about, especially if you're considering using responsive for a long time. So let's talk about the features here. When you think about responsive, what kind of features can you actually expect to have within this tool? I mean, what are the capabilities? What are the modules? What are the competencies can you have? Well, the main features within responsive, you have activity dashboard, collaboration tools, you have contact management, content management, reporting slash analytics, and you also have workflow management. As you can see, that everything revolves around proposals. So all those main features that I just listed for you, they can be really powerful when it comes to RFQs, RFIs, DGQs, SOWs, security questionnaires, and more. Okay, so that's kind of important to think about. So besides the primary capabilities, you also have within responsive, you have additional or ancillary features. For instance, you have requirements management, task management, full text search. You have a SSO, single sign-on, milestone tracking. Milestone tracking is kind of important, especially if you are working on a multi-project sort of activity. If you have also access controls, permissions, that's really good in terms of a accountability loop, setting the proper accountability loop from the get-go. You have document storage. You have document management. You have third-party integrations. That's what I was talking to you a little earlier when I mentioned API, but also directly integrating third-party apps through the likes of Slack or even GitHub. Also, you have an audit trail. You have bid management, electronic signature, knowledge library. That's an important element it's an important repository to count on within responsive. You have document automation, template management, API. I've spoken about that before. Status tracking, digital signature, search filter, alerts, notifications, rule-based workflow. That's an important element to think about. You also have projections, RFP management, time and expense tracking, requisition management, content library. You have automatic formatting. That's an important element to think about. You also have an RFP responding, version control, knowledge-based management. So that's a key feature within responsive. You have due date tracking, progress tracking. Those two tracking capabilities are important, especially if you have multiple projects out or multiple projects pending. You have a customizable reports, templates, live chat, task progress tracking. So that's kind of important to think about. You have also activity tracking, reminders, pipeline management, sales trend analysis, SSL security, data import export, and so on and so forth. Let's talk about the differentiators here. When you think about responsive, what kind of differentiators you have to at least have in mind? Well, the responsive remains one of the top proposal software tools. Okay, and so formerly known as RFPIO. Responsive meets all of your strategic response management needs, as the platform was built from the start to handle all types of information requests. Right, I've said this before. RFPs, RFQs. You have IFBs, DGQs, security questionnaires, and more. So that's kind of important to think about. RFPs, RFQs, RFIs, and so on and so forth. And some of the differentiators you have within responsive, you have a robust content library that basically centralizes knowledge management. This is the differentiator because you don't have a lot of tools on the market right now that actually do that. You have a native AI-powered content generation with a recommendation engine. So that's kind of cool. You may have a AI-powered content generation in other tools, but you don't have a recommendation engine that comes with it. So that's another differentiator. You also have and this is kind of cool. We love that because basically within responsive, you have intelligent search capabilities like lookup. You also have easy collaboration, workflow automation, built-in analytics, and more. And so when you think about the differentiators that we love here, we love the fact that within responsive, you are able to empower your salespeople. You are able to empower your sales teams to deliver customized sales proposals that take minutes to create, and that's kind of cool. And especially when you think about the fact that responsive is very easy to use. Okay, no learning curve, no complicated process. You do have a plethora of native integrations. If you don't find your integration already natively in responsive, you can actually have an API. You can set up an API to really make sure that you are working as fast as possible. So that's really fantastic, especially when you think about the fact that if you are in a very sort of a competitive industry, speed really matters a lot. So let's talk about the specs here. When we think about responsive proposal software, what kind of specs can you think about? Well, first of all, this tool is best for strategic response management and also in terms of RFP software optimization. And we recommend responsive for freelancers, small businesses, medium businesses, and large enterprise. We do not recommend responsive for startups unless the startup is well funded. Okay, because responsive is not cheap, but it's not also expensive. You just need to have a budget for it. And responsive, we do not recommend responsive for like I've said this before, nonprofit, but also personal use. But one thing for sure, the deployment that you can have through responsive is cloud. So responsive is a cloud-based tool, a SaaS or web-based. You don't have a mobile. I mean, the mobile is there, mobile, Android, iPhone, and iPad. That is there, but it's not really as strong. You can also have desktop configuration if you want it. You can also have on-premise deployment. So you can have an on-premise through Windows or Linux if you're willing to pay for it, though, because responsive actually is going to get things done for you, but you have to be willing to pay for it. If you're willing to pay for it, not a problem. And the company is based in the States. And so now question is, should you get it? We think you should get it. We think that you should get it. And responsive is worth it. When you look at all the capabilities this tool is bringing to the table, we think that responsive is really great. And responsive's high ratings and positive reviews suggest that it is well received in the professional community, particularly among those involved in bid writing and RFP responses. And its focus on customer experience and strategic response management aligns well, in our view, with the needs of, say, bid writers who require reliable, efficient tools to manage complex RFP processes. So if you're listening to me right now, basically, whether you should get responsive or not, we think that you should get it. And at least you want to give it a try. Give the demo a try and see if you like the features, if you like the modules, if you like the capabilities, if you like the collaborative environment it creates for you and your teams before actually buying the real product. So what's the bottom line here to this conversation? I spoke to you about responsive. I give you the product overview, the pros and cons, the value added, the cost, the features, the differentiators, the specs, and whether you should get it or not. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.